So it is visible, but it is in a small window. If you can share the screen. Lalit sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, Dr. Shabnam, is it better now? Are you seeing the full screen now or no?
No, sir.
Oh, geez. Okay. Just 1 minute. Dr. Shabnam, is it better now?
Uh, it's okay, sir. ठीक है.
Can you take a screenshot and put it on the chat so I can see what are you seeing? If
Okay, okay, sir.
yeah, Dr. Shabnam.
Sir, yes, sir. I have sent it. Please check.
Yeah, it's the full screen. It
Yes,
is
yeah.
the
Can
yeah,
see. Yes, yes.
fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So we'll wait for 5 more minutes and then we'll start.
Okay, no
We'll
worries.
wait for. Okay, sir. Let's see. Yeah. Sir, with your permission, shall we start?
Yeah, please, please. Let's go ahead. I'm ready to
Uh,
start. Thank you.
ju- okay, sir. Bhakti ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's start.
Very good morning to one and all. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
A very good morning to one and all. I take a great privilege to welcome and introduce our today's expert speaker, Dr. Lalit Katpalia, sir. Sir is a president SDTP, that is Society of Design Thinking Professionals, India chapter. Sir is president IIBA, that is International Institute of Business Analysts, Pune chapter. Sir is on advisory board of NASCOM Insights, a director of SI CSR, director SIT, director consulting and client solutioning SKP Business Consulting, head STS and associate professor. Sir is a dynamic leader with expertise in developing and implementing IT solutions for diverse business problems. Sir is an excellent communicator and negotiator, having managed various accounts for consulting companies in positions such as client manager, account manager, site manager, delivery head, delivery anchor, director, chief delivery officer, and chief marketing officer. Sir is the innovator of key concepts in offshore on-site project development, portfolio analysis, transformation, resulting in successful projects and motivated teams. Sir have also mentored group project managers at Infosys in one of their biggest initiatives on mentoring under PCMM. Sir have almost trained 500 plus folks in design thinking. We are very fortunate to have you here, sir, and we are very eager to hear from you on the topics of design thinking. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Bhakti. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. And it puts me into a position of ensuring that we have a good session today. Before I start this session, I just want to ask you, do you want to watch a movie on an official trailer on what is design thinking? It's a 2-minute movie. Shall we begin the session with that, guys? Are you guys okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you. Just give me a minute. You all can answer on chat or on audio, and I'm open to listening. I would love an interactive audience. Just one second.
Look at what's happening now. There have been fundamental.
I make stuff up. Okay.
Look at what's happening now. There have been fundamental changes in the way people think about problems, the kinds of problems that occur, and certainly the impact on design.
Now, my definition of design thinking is applying the methodologies and approaches of design to a broader set of issues and problems in business and society.
So many people think that it's kind of like in your genes. You're a creative person or you're not. I don't buy that.
Prototyping, testing, failing all the time, but failing quickly and cheaply in order to succeed.
A big part of it with city governments is just getting them comfortable with the idea of experimentation. It's totally antithetical to the culture of startups in Silicon Valley. Try something, if it doesn't work, throw it out and start again.
Now, when the government came to us and asked us to redesign the ballot, we said we wouldn't redesign the ballot, but what we would do is redesign the election experience.
If I didn't have to just pick a boring, ugly bike, pre-built off the shelf, if I got to choose the color of the frame, the color of the wheels, what would my bike look like?
I think it was called Flower Power was the internal name for one of the iMacs, and it wasn't a success. It lasted in the marketplace for 6 months.
Some people are saying, oh, I hate the word design thinking.
If you're only thinking, then you're not doing. Some of the aspects of design thinking are simply suggesting that designers are not thinking.
It doesn't matter what the problem is. I can go in and solve it because I'm a designer.
I once had a guy come to me and literally say, it ain't show art, kid. You know, it's show business.
Why is it that big, huge corporations get beaten by kids in garages?
The thing that excites me the most about this, and I think excites most people, is we have a chance to really move the needle. We have a chance to make a difference on a significant level when we get all these pieces moving together. That's what gets me up every day.
So friends, what was your takeaway from this video? What did you guys learn? Any thoughts? What did you learn, guys? Sorry, was the video not visible, guys? Hello?
Yes, sir.
It was visible and audible.
Okay, fantastic. Very good, guys. So I will go to my presentation. I have very limited time with you, which is 1.5 hours. So let me try and do the best in the given circumstances. And my session is about visualization and storytelling. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry, there is a slight hiccup on the. Is my presentation visible, guys? Sorry, I'm not able to.
No, sir.
Just 1 second. I don't know. I have a slight problem here. Just 1 second. Just 1 second, guys. I don't know. I have a slight problem here. Just one little. I have to reopen the presentation. Just 1 second. Okay, guys. Now is my presentation visible? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, fantastic. So before I start, I just want to tell you that, when I do run a workshop, this is probably the agenda which I have as to what is design thinking. Then we discuss empathy and insights. We discuss about ideation, we discuss about how to create a prototype and feedback, then how do you do continuous improvement in the sense when you do storytelling. I'm running faster. So before I go forward, I want to show you some examples of design thinking. We want to know how design thinking has accomplished real life examples of design thinking. Are you guys interested in that before we get into the storytelling part? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now, if you look at the screen, this is an example of the scan machine, the MRI machine. How many of you have ever been through an MRI machine, guys? Have you ever undergone an MRI machine? Any one of you? Yes, anyone? Okay, so I think, yeah, Lukesh and Sarita have said yes. Okay, Sarita, Lukesh, what has been your experience on an MRI machine? Were you scared? Did you recently? Okay, Raghavan sir has also said yes. What has been your experience? Okay, thank you, Neha. What has been your experience for people who have been on the MRI machine? Were you scared? What did you find it intimidating? What did you guys experience when you went through a MRI machine? A little bit scary. Thank you, Lokesh sir. So what happened is that Doug Dietz was an engineer at General Electric who built this MRI machine. Now, Dietz was very proud of this amazing technology, but at the same time, he was very sad because, most of the children were terrified to use this product because the children were, when they saw this machine, it was very intimidating and the children found it very scary. So what Doug Dietz, what they used to do is that for the MRI for children, they used to sedate them, which means that they used to put them to sleep and then do the MRI. So Doug Dietz thought that, this is not something good. So he thought of applying design thinking. And he came up with the idea of creating a CT Pirate Island adventure, wherein the scanner was made to look like a pirate ship. Do you see the picture here at the side? So what he did is the MRI machine was made to look like a pirate ship, and the room was decorated with favorite adventure series characters, and consequently the entire MRI experience became like playtime for kids. So everybody, the kids, started loving the new experience. Now they thought they are going on to a pirate ship. Have you seen that movie about Captain Sparrow and the pirate? I don't recollect the movie name. Have you seen the pirate movie? I think there is a character called as Captain Sparrow on that, and probably the movie name is The Pirate Island or The Pirates. Do any one of you remember the name of the movie? So this MRI machine was, decorated to look like an pirate ship, and all the characters of the, pirate movie were shown over there. And because of design thinking and this particular change, kids loved the new experience, and quite a few of them actually wanted to come back. They were so happy going through an MRI thing that they wanted to come back. And the parents were also equally relieved. And what happened is that the number of children being put to sleep went down from 80% to 10%. So both hospitals and parents benefited commercially. So this is an example of a design thinking innovation. This is Swiffer from Procter & Gamble. How many of you did Jhadu Pocha at your homes during the lockdown period, or do you do it? Type Y for yes, N for no. How many of you have done the brooming and mopping, what we call in Hindi as Jhadu Pocha in your house? Okay, yes. Sarita says yes. Others don't feel shy. Even I've been doing mopping. Thank you, Ritu. Thank you, Lokesh. Thank you, Neha. So Procter & Gamble, thank you, Deepali. So Procter & Gamble, do you guys know Procter & Gamble? Thank you, Bhakti, Dr. Chinarasu. Thank you, Neha. So thank you, Zora. So you know, Procter and Gamble, by the way, is one of the world's leading consumer products company. And what they did is that in the late 1990s, sorry, I have someone raise his hands. I don't know who that person is. Just 1 second, guys. Oh, fine. Okay. So in the late 1990s, you know, all major household hygiene brands were fighting to create a potent floor cleaning solution. I mean, everyone was trying to find a solution to clean the floors. So the behavioral scientists at Procter and Gamble, you know, they spent a lot of hours in the field and realized that the floors actually themselves were not too dirty. Instead, the consumers faced the challenge of spending hours in the process of cleaning, not just the floor, but the mop itself. So what they realized, these behavioral scientists, when they went to people's home, is that, you know, the cleaning itself was the houses were not so dirty, but the challenge was that they were spending a lot of time in the process of cleaning. And when they were spending a lot of time in the process of cleaning, they were spending time not just cleaning the floor, but cleaning the mop itself. So they came up with this idea of Swiffer, you know, and the Swiffer is the mop which Procter and Gamble came up with, and it uses the razor and blades business model. Where the Do you know what is the razor and blades business model? The razor and blades business model, for people who don't know, you know, in Gillette, if you take a Gillette shaving appliance, I mean a Gillette shaving razor, the razor is free and the blade costs you money. So every time you have to buy you have to buy a new razor, you have to buy a new blade, you don't need a razor. So that is the model which you know, the Swiffer we came up with, that they came up with the razor and blades business model, wherein the consumer purchases the hand assembly at a low price. So the hand assembly, which is this part, sorry guys, this part was at a very low price, and the refill and pads over lifetime. So what you have to do is that every time your mop went dirty, you just had to buy this refill. And instead of spending hours cleaning both the floor and the mop, now they can simply change pads through an easy mechanism. So now they were cleaning, I mean, whenever the mop was dirty, they just changed the mop pad and boom, they were ready to go. So because of this design thinking, you know, what they did, there was a significant reduction in cleaning time and post-cleaning maintenance. So the time for cleaning reduced, and the post-cleaning maintenance also reduced, and it was disruptive innovation at its best. And the brand became a $500 million brand spread over 15 countries. So this became the, you know, disruptive innovation, and this became a brand which earned a lot of money for Procter and Gamble. That brings me to the point: what is disruptive innovation, guys? Do you all know what is disruptive innovation? Anyone? You can come on the chat. Either you can come on audio, or you can chat. What is disruptive innovation? Or can you give me an example of disruptive innovation? Sorry. I don't see this name, but I believe someone's mic is on. Are you trying to say something? Okay, Sarita says it's breaking the norm and creating something new. Fantastic, Sarita. Raghuveer sir says new innovations that affect masses. Very good. Bhakti Patil says expensive innovation. Okay, I'll give you an example of disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation. Have you ever seen the Kodak camera? What was the camera which you all used earlier? Do you remember the Kodak camera which you used earlier, which was based on films? Okay, Vikas sir, thank you. 3D printing. Do you remember the old camera which uses films? Yes. Now, what happened to Kodak, the company, or what happened to that film-based camera, guys? Thank you, Neha. Yeah, the reel-based camera. Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, Manisha. What happened to that? What happened to the reel-based camera? Can you give me an example? they didn't adapt to change, right, Manisha? What happened to that camera? I mean, what happened to Kodak as a company? Yes, Mukunda, very good. The digital camera killed the Kodak, the film camera, and that company was killed. So they are out of the market, right? So disruptive innovation is innovation which creates a new market by a low technology, by a low end, low cost technology, which creates a new market or which serves the unserved or the underserved. My question to you is, can you give me an example of disruptive innovation in the Indian market? I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of a company which Nokia, very good. Nokia, what happened to Nokia, Neha? I want an Indian company, guys. Can you give me an example of how disruptive innovation helped Indian company? Roti maker, okay. Thank you, Zora. Okay. Nokia, I have a question to ask you guys. What did the typewriter, online education? Thank you, Vikas sir. Very good. Online education is a disruptive innovation. We're having this class via online education and it's a disruptive innovation. Very good. The typewriter, Lokesh, what is the disruptive innovation? I have a question to ask you guys. What did Jio do to Idea and Airtel? Can you all tell me what did Jio do to Idea and Airtel? What did the Jio phones or the Jio company did to Idea, Airtel, and Vodafone? Okay, Vikas sir, it is GSM to VoLTE. But what was the big thing which they did? Shabnam, are we allowed to get people on audio or it's only on chat? Dr. Shabnam?
Yes, sir, they can.
Okay, Raghuveer sir, you are right. Jio came with the free data concept. Manisha, you are right. They came with 4G. PYP guest, what was this free Wi-Fi? Sorry, I didn't get it. Neha Patil, for people who are on, who want to come on the audio, please tell me what did Jio do? Get on the audio, guys. I want to hear you guys. Penetration pricing, high speed, very good, Dr. Chinarasu. What did Jio do to the Airtel, Idea, and Vodafone? What was it? What was the big change which they did? How did it impact the Airtels of the world? Yes, guys. I need more answers. I need better answers. That was disruptive innovation. Fantastic. It was low cost internet. Very good answer. PYP guest. I don't know who that person is. PYP guest, when they provided low cost internet, what did they do? Lokesh, fantastic. They provided free data. What did they do is, so let me answer your question. Jio is they captured the market by free internet. Thank you, Manisha. Very good. So Jio actually did a disruptive innovation. Zora, you are right. They captured a market. How did they do a disruptive innovation? They did a disruptive innovation by actually introducing 4G and VoLTE in India. I mean, they introduced the 4G technology and VoLTE in India. And what they did is that they made available the internet to everyone very poor, to the lower end of the market, to the people who could not afford a smartphone. There were people in India who wanted access to the internet, and not everyone could afford the smartphone. So they came up with 4G technology and provided access to the internet. But the biggest thing which they did was they didn't charge people for the voice or SMSs. Airtel, Idea, Vodafone, everyone was charging based on the talk time and the SMSs. Did you guys earlier had, yeah, Manisha, you are right. Jio also provided 6 months free. So they made a disruptive innovation that they said that we will provide internet access to everyone on 4G. And with 4G, they provided access to even the rural areas on internet. And they had a fiber line laid, because of which they could provide 4G access to anyone in India. And at the same time, they killed Airtel, Idea, and Vodafone by saying that we will not charge people on the voice and on SMSs. They said that we will charge people based on data, and that is how they had a disruptive innovation and they became a leader for the market. So now, do you understand what is disruptive innovation? Yes or no, guys? If you understand disruptive innovation, type Y in the chat boxes, please. Thank you, Ritu. Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, Raghavan, sir. So now that you know disruptive innovation, how can you get disruptive innovation is by using design thinking. That's what I was trying to. Thank you, Deepali. Thank you, Raghuveer, Shari. This is design thinking helps you get a disruptive innovation. And with design thinking, you know, you saw that movie. Small garage players can also. Thank you, Shabnam, Dr. Shabnam. Even a small garage player can beat a big company. So let's move forward. Airbnb is another example of design thinking. Has anyone used Airbnb? Hello. What is Airbnb? What is Airbnb, guys? Okay, fine. We will. I will talk to you. Airbnb is a platform where wherein if you have a house which is empty, you can provide it for people on rent to people who are unknown to you, and people who are unknown to you can also get this. Come onto that platform and stay at your house and pay you money. So Airbnb, yeah, Manisha, you're right. It's like Oyo rooms. Now Airbnb, I don't want to get into the details, but Airbnb is now one of the world's leader in the hotel business, in the sense in providing accommodation. And they use design thinking, and they are valued at over $40 billion, but they own absolutely no properties or assets. It has served 150 million guests and is present in around 65,000 cities. So Airbnb has no hotels of their own, but yet they are a leader in providing accommodation. So Airbnb is another example of disruptive innovation and of design thinking. Let me not. I will skip all these other examples. So this is how your journey will look like in design thinking. You know, it's ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. You will have joys of moment, and you would have fun, and you would also have your downs. So this is how the journey looks like in design thinking. So I'm going to fast forward this slide as to what is design. So design thinking is all about artistic ability, creative thinking, and that too to think differently. So these are things which are all design thinking. So design thinking refers to creative strategies that designers use during the process of designing. It has also been developed as an approach to resolve issues outside of professional design practice, such as in business and social context. So design thinking is is what we use. I mean, design thinking is using the creative strategies that designers use during the process of designing, and we use this to resolve issues outside of professional design practice, such as in business and social context. So guys, can I ask you something? Yeah, Sarita, sorry, I just saw this homestay for tourists. Thank you. Is design thinking only for designers? Is design thinking only for designers, guys? I believe you already had some sessions on what is design thinking, right? Thank you, Manisha. Absolutely no. Design thinking is not for designers. It is for engineers. It is for HR folks. It's for management folks. It is for everyone. And design thinking means that you use the creative strategies which designers use for your own business and social problems. Okay. So design thinking encompasses, in invention, innovation, and creativity. I'm not going to get into detail into all this, but I just want to tell you that design thinking, firstly, is a perspective. Secondly, it focuses on people. Thirdly, we need new choices. A pure technocentric and management view of anything is less sustainable. You can't just have a technocentric and management view of anything. What we need is new ways and products which will balance the needs of societies and individual. And that's why we need design thinking. So aspiring innovators do brainstorming sessions and rarely do this make it to the outside world in the form of new products and services. So there are a lot of innovators who do a lot of brainstorming sessions, but the products don't come out in the market. So that is where we need design thinking. So we need an approach that is powerful, effective, and broadly accessible, which can be integrated into all aspects of our life and breakthrough ideas that can be implemented. And design thinking is an answer to that. So design thinking is a way by which you can get breakthrough ideas and, you can come up with something so good that it can impact all areas of our life and business. Okay. So design thinking is gaining popularity as an economic activity in the world, is shifting from industrial manufacturing to knowledge creations and creating experience. So what's happening is that people are not just looking at industrial manufacturing, they're looking at providing experiences. So innovation has become a survival strategy. I mean, innovation is one of the reasons why companies survive, and that's where design thinking comes in. So we have to go from design doing to design thinking. What is design doing and what is design thinking? So firstly, design thinking is not a miracle cure, but it can definitely help. Design thinking is not design, but it captures the quality of designers and can help motivate and engage you in your ecosystem. It's not a quick fix. It takes time to implement and should not be forced. It's not a guarantee of success, but it's a complement to improve communication, collaboration, and consensus. And at the same time, it is a method, not magic. It's not a miracle cure. Can anyone tell me how design thinking helped India on the Covaxin or the COVID virus prevention? Anyone? Can you all give me examples of design thinking for India? Do you know what India did when it came to using design thinking for the coronavirus? Yes, guys. Dr. Shabnam told me you guys are one of the fantastic groups of people, the most intelligent people in this world. Tell me, guys, how did India use design thinking for the coronavirus issue? Sorry, somebody raised his hand. The CoWIN app for vaccination. Very good, Ankita. Very good answer, Ankita. Sorry, I'm not able to applaud that, but you deserve an applause. The CoWIN app for vaccination is an example of design thinking. How is that an example of design thinking, Ankita? Can you elaborate? And others, can you give me more examples of India using design thinking for the coronavirus besides what Ankita has given? Yeah, somebody coming on. Sorry, I can't see the participant names. Okay, I think Ankita has a problem on. Thank you, Raghavan sir. Arogya Setu app. Vikas sir says initially no PPE kits were manufactured. Yes, we started manufacturing our own PPE kits. Lokesh sir, fantastic. Yes, the ventilators and production of PPE kits is a good example of design thinking. The whole medical fraternity was involved in vaccination. Yes, guys, these are all good examples. The ventilator production, the PPE kits, everything which we did. And as Ankita said, the CoWIN app is a good example of, how we have used design thinking. The N95 mask, Lokesh sir, fantastic. These are all examples of design thinking.
Sir, can I say something on this? My name is
Yes,
Zora.
sure. Yeah,
Even
Zora.
India, there are certain types of flowers which is used to make alcohol, and alcohol was banned. So those flowers were further used to make the sanitizers and as natural sanitizers, which will further help people, rather than using the chemical-based sanitizers. So that was, I think,
Fantastic.
one of the very good example which we can take it in design thinking.
Very good. Give a big hand to Zora, guys. Fantastic. I love this. Zora, thanks for sharing that. By the way, I think we had some problem wherein the US was not giving us raw materials, Zora. And then, for the vaccines and maybe also for the sanitizers, and the use of a flower locally available for the sanitizers is a good example of design thinking. Thank you very much, Zora. Let's move forward, guys. So, the most important thing about design thinking is that it's being human centric. Okay. Just 1 second. Guys, I will slightly move forward because I have very less time. This is, by the way, how many of you know about Chotu Cool? What is Chotu Cool? This is a low-cost energy solution. In India, we had a problem that in India, there was an electricity issue. So people over there could not have refrigerators. So Godrej used design thinking and came up with this Chotu Cool, which is a refrigerator, which is, a low-cost energy solution wherein it works on a battery. And with this,
Only 8% of rural India had access to refrigerators. This statistic led to the innovation of Chotu Cool, Godrej's mini refrigerator that runs on electricity as well as battery. Chotu Cool is the poster boy for disruptive innovation in India. Like email disrupted the existing market for postal mail, Chotu Cool has revolutionized food preservation for low-income households.
India, a country where 1/3 of the total food produced in India is spoiled. An urgent need to nip this alarming number was identified in 2006. And as they say, where there is a need, there is an innovation. In a country where 80% of the people have no access to simple refrigeration, a concept so ordinary in today's urban homes, Godrej introduced Chotu Cool. A low-cost, low-energy refrigerator to provide the comfort of cooling to the sun-scorched households of rural India.
We started understanding non-consumers, basically people who are non-users of refrigerator, and started understanding their life, their living pattern, in their habitat, in their surroundings and all that. And it came out that there were 2-3 things which we looked at. One is what are the barriers to the consumption, why they are not buying a normal existing range of refrigerator which are available in the marketplace. Second, we try to understand their needs. What are the needs they have? And third is, do they really have an aspiration to buy a cooling solution which serves their purpose? The running cost was another issue.
The idea was born at a Harvard University workshop conducted by Professor Clayton Christensen, a pioneer of disruptive innovation. An innovation which creates a new market and eventually disrupts the existing market for a product. A small but significant change in design was introduced by abandoning the compressor technology used in domestic fridges and using a thermoelectric or solid-state cooling system.
We decided to go for a solid state, primarily because that was the simplest thing. A 40 mm by 40 mm by 3 mm chip actually does the cooling as against a 12 kg of a mass which is called compressor.
Innovated to save a struggling refrigerator industry, in 2008, Chotucool was born. A 45-litre fridge that can cool food to around 8 to 10 degrees Celsius on a 12-volt battery at the cost of just 3,700 rupees. That's half the price of the cheapest refrigerator you'd find in the market.
A country like India, to be frugal is absolutely essential because we don't have too many resources and we really don't have enough resources for the large population that we have. There's no way that you can eradicate the population, nor can we multiply the resources in a short period of time. We have to be resource efficient and we have to be resource effective. So it is important to be frugal. It is important to be cost effective.
With affordability and accessibility at the heart of Chotucool, Godrej is the only white good manufacturer in India to address the need of the rural poor by creating a new product category for this invisible consumer segment. But targeting this new segment of consumers meant rejecting standard models of distribution to ensure that one who needs a Chotucool gets a Chotucool.
A lot of people talk in terms of reaching out to the market and logistics and everything, which pertains to the visible part of the market where roads exist, the highways exist, the warehouses exist, the people who reach out there exist. We really had to look at places which people cannot reach. And that's where this logic of post office came, that India Post reaches out to so many places. How do they do it? They didn't have the courier system. They didn't have the rocket scientists to do that. They have been reaching it out for more than 100 years.
This tie-up with India Post is making sure Chotucool is reaching the remotest corners of India and impacting the lives of thousands of households.
One of the stories which really makes me feel that yes, it has impacted the small pawn shop in Nasik. Whenever it's just outside a big hotel, he's selling cold pan out of that, cold meetha pan. He prepares in the morning time and keep it inside it so that during the day it gets cool. Earlier he was using a brick of ice to make that, and now he earns 2 rupees per pan, and it impacts his life in a big way. And he says that very proudly that after buying Chotucool, now instead of one Chotucool, he has another Chotucool. He has 2 Chotucools. So the total outflow of pan per day from him has gone up 3 to 4 times more than what he was selling before buying Chotucool.
Chotucool has taken a leap forward with its new model that bridges the gap between affordability and aspiration. A revamped model was launched earlier this year for a consumer interested in a lifestyle product rather than a functional appliance.
But over the period of time, we started realizing the aspirations are growing very fast for them also. And during that thing, they started looking at the high-end customers. When we gone through this journey, we find that the aspiration, some way can we make the solution, functional solution, more aspirational. And that last 3 years of journey is all about that.
In a segment with wafer-thin margins and where the cheapest selling is not the largest selling, Godrej hasn't had it easy. But going strong, this revolutionary product is a clarion call to the culture of innovation that can bring about social impact and still make business sense.
Over the last 8 weeks, we've shown you what an indelible mark India has made on the world's innovation map. We hope this series has...
So guys, this is an example of design thinking in India and how the Chotucool revolutionized, and made a refrigerator available to the low cost, rural market. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, on how design thinking is helping innovation. Let's move forward. Just 1 second, guys. Just 1 second, guys. So I'm not going to be discussing the Kano model because there are various people who have done that. This is the design thinking methodology, wherein the first phase is empathize, the second phase is define, the third one is ideate, fourth one is prototype, and the last phase is test. So what do you do in the empathize phase is that, what does the word empathy mean to you guys? What does the word empathy mean to you? Yes, guys, anyone can come on the audio or on chat and can you tell me what does empathy mean?
So what we have learned in the previous days is that empathizing means that knowing exactly what the end user wants, not by just seeing what he's desperate for, but knowing the actual need.
Very good. So empathy, very good. Thank you very much. Sorry, I don't know your name, but whosoever you are, thank you very much.
So my name is Zora.
Thank you, Zora. So empathy.
So, empowering the user, by knowing what he needs.
Very good. So empathy means putting yourself in the shoes of the user or putting yourself in someone else's shoes. So you understand what is happening. So empathy is the first phase of design thinking. And thank you, Zora, for that beautiful answer. The second phase is define. What do you do in the define phase, guys? Yeah, Prayati, you're right. Shabnam, you're right. Understanding others' feeling is empathy. Prayati, you're right. Requirement of explanation. So, okay, I will sort of just run through this. Yeah, sorry, who's this? Yeah, what do you do in the define phase, guys? Sorry, DK sir, you're not audible. Okay, whosoever analyze the need, Dr. Chinnarasu says, Raghavan says, understand the problem. So in define, you are, defining the problem which you are trying to solve, or you're coming up with the problem statement. In the empathy phase, you are understanding the problem. In the define phase, you are coming up with what is the problem which you are trying to solve. And the next part is ideate. I believe your ideation and prototype session. What do you do in ideate, guys? What do you do in ideate? Yeah, sorry, MP, Mr. Bhavik, you unmuted yourself, but you're not audible. What do you do in ideate, guys? Mr. Bhavik, if you wanted to speak. For people who have problems on audio, you can put on chat. What do you do in the ideate part?
So we brainstorm the problem, in terms of generating the ideas.
Who's this? Is this Zora? Sorry, who's this? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Zora, you're right. You brainstorm and come up with ideas to solve the problem. Fantastic. And then comes the prototype phase. What do you do in prototype? Can someone else also speak up? You come up with the solution, right, Sarita Roy? Fantastic. Yes, in the ideation, you come up with the solution. And then what do you do in the prototype? Very good, Vikas sir. You prepare a working model. You express your idea or thought to some people and take their opinion. Very good. Yeah, defining rules, Neha Patil. Fantastic. So you then come up with the working model and then you come to the test phase. So what do you do in the test phase, guys?
Try out the idea?
Try out the idea. Very good. How do you try out the idea? Sorry, who was that?
Savita.
Yeah, Savita. How do you try out the idea?
Maybe you can experiment it on a small section of people, or
Very good. Yeah, experiment it on a small section of people. Fantastic. Okay. So in testing, this is basically the design thinking Stanford D School methodology of design thinking. You firstly do empathize, wherein you do interviews, shadowing, seek to understand, be non-judgmental. In the sense, you try to understand the user problem by being trying to understand by interviewing people, by shadowing people, by trying to be seeking to understand them, by being non-judgmental. In the define phase, you create personas, you define role objectives, you understand, you take decisions, you look at the challenges and the pain points. In the ideate phase, you come up with solutions. You have to share ideas. All ideas are worthy. All this will be probably covered in your ideation class. And then there is a prototype wherein you build up mock-ups, storyboards, keep it simple, fail fast, and iterate quickly. In the test phase, what you do is you showcase to the user what you have built up in the prototype to get his feedback, right? To get the user's feedback, thank you, Vikas, sir. I saw concept testing and prototype testing. So in the testing phase, you try and showcase the solution, as Dr. Sarita was saying, that you're trying to understand and showcasing the solution which you have come up in as a form of a prototype. So here you understand the impediment, what works, role play, and iterate quickly. So understand impediments means that when you are showing your solution, you're trying to understand whether this is a good solution or not, whether there are any problems, what's working. You do role plays, and then you do iterate quickly. I mean, then you build up another prototype. We'll get into details on this. So let's move forward. Sorry, guys, I don't have to. So basically, when you are doing the test phase, you are trying to find out that for your prototype, what are the impediments, what is working on your prototype. You will do some role plays, you'll come ask with ideas. So here is the time when you showcase to the user what you have come up with as a solution, and then find out what is whether it is good, bad, and we'll discuss that over here. So what you do in the test phase is you share your solution and get feedback. So sharing your solution and getting feedback, whom would you share your solution to, guys? Whom would you share your solution to?
The end user.
The end user, right? Thank you very much, Mr. Sorry, who was that? Was that Sarita? Yes.
Sarita,
it is. Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. You'll have to show it to the end user. You are building up something for them. You're solving their problem. So the prototype has to be shown to them. Very good. So when you're sharing your solution, you're getting feedback as to what worked. I mean, what is working in that prototype which you have built up? What could be improved? I mean, what is needs improvement? And if there are any questions or ideas from the end user or from the user, this is what you do. Now, in order to show your prototype, one of the things which you do is you tell a story, or you do storytelling. That's where the story time comes in. So basically, when you're doing storytelling or when you are showcasing your solution, the first thing which you want to do is you want to say what is the name of your idea, in the sense that what is the idea, name. I mean, what do you call this idea? Who is it for? I mean, who is this idea for? What is the solution? Why do people need it? What is the solution, in the sense, how are you trying to solve the problem? Why do people need this solution? what evidence do you have, and what are your next steps? So when you are doing storytelling, there are two types of stories we have. Firstly, if you are an entrepreneur, then you would be telling a story about your prototype or your idea to get money from a venture capitalist or from whomsoever you're presenting this idea. So it's an investor story. The other thing could be that you would be presenting or sharing your story to, if you're working in a company and you come up with the new solution, then you'll be showcasing it to your top management. You'll be doing storytelling about this idea, and you'll be showcasing this solution so as to get a management buy-in to proceed on this. Now, besides this storytelling, also brands do storytelling. I mean, like, Coca-Cola does storytelling, Airtel does storytelling. All these brands do storytelling. Now, I want to show you all some fantastic examples of storytelling. Do you want to see some videos about storytelling using design thinking? Yes or no, guys? These are a couple of videos.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. So let me show you my first video. Just give me a minute, guys. Now, just as these brands are doing the storytelling, when you do design thinking, you will also have to do storytelling. So these are good examples of using design thinking for storytelling. And just give me a minute. I'll stop the share and then we will. Just give me a minute. I'll have to go to my video. Just one second. So, just so this video, Coca-Cola actually, what they did is that they put a camera in a vending machine in a college canteen. And in that college canteen, the Coke vending machine, they put a camera, and then they recorded the emotions of people trying to get Coke from the vending machine. And that movie which they captured of all the emotions became a fantastic idea of storytelling. So watch this movie, a good example of storytelling using design thinking. Just give me a minute, guys. Just one second, guys. So this video is a fantastic example of storytelling. And this video is called as the Coca-Cola happiness machine. I mean, the vending machine became a happiness machine, and they used storytelling to, capture this video. This video was using design thinking and is a good example of brand storytelling. So when you are actually showing your product, you are to also have to have a good story to tell your idea or the solution which you want to demonstrate. Let's move. Do you guys want to watch another movie, a short one of 2 or 3 minutes about the piano stairs from Volkswagen? Do you guys want to watch that? This is another good example of storytelling. Do you guys want to watch that?
Yes, sir.
Or no?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fantastic. Just 1 second, guys. did you like this example of storytelling by Volkswagen and Coke? Did you like the videos, guys? These are all good examples of brand storytelling. Type a yes if you like the videos. Thank you, Manisha. Do you want to see an Apple advertisement which does not talk about the product, but is a good example of, an advertisement which does not talk about the product? It is the launch of their iPod. The Apple launched the iPod, and that video does not talk about the product. It's only half a minute of video. And watch that video of good example of storytelling. If you guys want to watch that video also, please type in a yes, because I don't know the yeses now. If you type in a yes, I'll come to know whether you want to watch that video, or you could come on audio and say whether you want to watch it, guys. It's only half a minute, fantastic ad, good example of storytelling. They are not talking about the product. Okay, just 1 second, guys. I'll show you that also. Just 1 second. Thank you, Deepali. Thank you, Professor Swati. Thank you, Bhakti. Thank you, Raghuveer, sir. Just 1 second.
Who said it was okay to leave change?
So this was a video about the Apple. They didn't talk about the product, just that iPod was shown, the white color device, and this is another good example of storytelling. So how do you tell your story? I mean, what is involved in storytelling? We will talk about it, and I'll go back to my slide. Thank you, Dr. Nirmala. Just give me a minute. So when you do storytelling, you do storytelling with action, emotion, and detail. This is the Stanford way of telling a story. Before I go to explaining the Raghuveer Chari, we'll talk about how to join Society of Design Thinkers. We'll talk about that. So basically, by the way, Society of Design Thinking Professionals certifies people on design thinking, and we can discuss that later on. I do courses on design thinking, and the training material which I use is what Stanford uses. Okay, now before I explain this Stanford format of storytelling, I want all of you to answer one question to me. Have you watched the movie Sholay? How many of you have watched the movie Sholay?
Yes.
I'll type it. Who all have watched the movie Sholay? Can you type yes? Manisha says yes. Okay. You can also come on audio. My question to everyone who has watched Sholay many times is Sarita. What is your favorite scene, guys? What is your favorite scene? What is the best part of the movie? When you say Sholay, what do you recollect? I want to hear from everyone. If you want to talk about the scene, then you can come on the audio. Thank you, Dr. Mahad. Okay, Zora, you're talking about Gabbar. What is that thing you're talking about in that Gabbar part? Okay, Sarita Roy, you're talking about, oh, kitne aadmi the? That's right, Vikas sir.
Sir, what I like about Sholay is when Gabbar says that दूर दूर तक जब कोई बच्चा रोता है तो माँ बोलती है बेटा सो जा, गब्बर आ जाएगा.
Very good, very good. What else? Anyone else? What was your favorite part of the movie? Okay, Manisha says kitne aadmi the? Vikas says kitne aadmi the? Doctor, I think Zora was talking about bacha so jata hai. Anyone else? What was your favorite scene in Sholay? I have a lot of people who are the kitne aadmi the guy story. Okay, Vinod says Thakur ye haath mujhe de de. Okay, fantastic. The suicide scene by Dharmendra. Very good. Okay, thank you, Sarita Roy. Thank you with Vikas. Itna sannata kyun hai? Dharmendra scene drunk. Okay, fantastic. Okay, Raghuveer Basanti Nach. Okay, I'm loving this. Okay, I think. Oh, Bhakti says, "Chal dhano, teri Basanti ki izzat ka sawal hai." Okay, I'm trying to tell you that most of the people, when they hear about Sholay, the best scene they like is that kitne aadmi the, that whole scene. Do you guys want to watch that scene, by the way? If yes, we can show that scene and relate it to storytelling. Or if you don't have time, okay. Do you guys want to watch that movie scene of Sholay, that kitne aadmi the scene? Yes or no, guys? I am not getting a clear answer. Guys, do you want to watch that scene? Okay, fine. We'll
Yes,
show
sir.
you that. Yeah, okay, just 1 second, guys. And then we'll watch this slide. Just 1 second. Okay, just 1 second, guys. Let me get that. Just 1 second. Dr. Shabnam, is it okay if we exceed the 11 o'clock time? I might need some more time.
Yes, sir.
Just 1 second, guys. By the way, I'm showing you this not because I want to show you a movie. I want to show you. Oh, just 1 second.
कितने आदमी थे? सरदार, 2 आदमी थे। 2 आदमी। वो 2 थे और तुम 3, फिर भी वापस आ गए खाली हाथ। क्या समझ कर आए थे कि सरदार बहुत खुश होगा, शाबाशी देगा? क्यों? अरे ओ सांबा, कितना इनाम रखे हैं सरकार हम पर? पूरे 50,000। सुना? पूरे 50,000। और ये इनाम इसलिए है कि यहाँ से 50-50 कोस दूर गांव जब बच्चा रात को रोता है तो माँ कहती है बेटे सो जा, सो जा नहीं तो गब्बर सिंह आ जाएगा। और ये 3 हरामजादे
नुसतं व्हिडिओज दाखवतोय।
इसकी सजा मिलेगी, बराबर मिलेगी। कितनी गोली है इसका? कितनी गोली है? 6 सरदार। 6 गोली।
Okay, guys, we will cut short this video because I'm running short of time. But what is why I'm trying to show you this scene is because this particular scene and this particular sequence is one of the most fantastic sequences of Sholay, wherein Gabbar Singh is doing a lot of storytelling, and the way he's talking and the whole acting is fantastic. I mean, and you talk to anyone, and you see this movie scene, and you actually recollect the whole movie about it. So this is a good example of storytelling. Sorry, someone's camera is on. Okay. So when you talk, do you guys agree that this scene is a good example of storytelling? Yes or no, guys? How many of you, sorry, can I get some answers? Do you think this scene is a good example of storytelling when Gabbar talks about this kitne aadmi hai, and
Yes, sir. Because on your slide you said that you have to feel and experience, right? So I think this is a beautiful example if you relate it to.
Very good, very good. Thank you.
My name is Zora.
Yeah, thank you, Zora. Okay. So let's move on. I just want to show you the final part of my presentation. So Stanford, the design school, Stanford, besides having a business school, also has a design school and an engineering school also. It says that when you're doing storytelling, you should do with action, emotion, and detail. When you're talking about a story, there should be 3 elements, and the maximum time which you can which you need to, I mean, the amount of time you need to tell a story is 3 minutes. I mean, it is within 3 minutes. The first part should be the action, the second part should be the emotion, and the third part would be the detail. So this is how you do good storytelling. And the tips which Zora actually read it out was, help us feel what the experience is like, what it looks like, what it sounds like. Think about the setting, the props, the characters we might encounter, involve the whole team in production. So your storytelling is very important, because if you don't do storytelling, your prototype, the user will not get a feel for the product or the prototype which you have built up, and he might not buy it. So this is what is storytelling. And one of the things which I teach in design thinking is that what we call as the RWW tool. When you do the ideation, when you complete the ideation, you have a lot of ideas come in. Now, which is the idea you take to production or for prototyping? That particular, which idea to take to the prototyping phase is something which you need to decide. So for that, you need a sieve or some tool. So for that, there is the RWW tool. So the first thing in the RWW tool is my idea real? So of all the ideas which you have shortlisted in the ideation phase, to select that one idea, you first ask this question: is the idea real? The set of questions. So the questions which you ask is, this focuses on the market. I mean, is there a need or desire for the product? Can the customer buy it? Is the size of the product potential market adequate? Will the customer buy the product? Is there a clear concept? So based on this, you'll filter out some ideas and you will get only the real ideas. The next question which you ask is, after the R, there is W. The first W is, can I win? Is this idea winning? So from the initial set of ideas, you use the RWW tools and come up with a real idea. And then you ask the second question, which is, can these ideas win? Assuming that there are no's, definite no's in the first step, you move on to exploring the competitive environment. So in the winning part, you are checking the competitive environment. I mean, can the product or service be competitive? You're checking whether the idea is competitive. Whether does it have a competitive advantage? Does it provide benefits? Can the advantage be sustained? So these are questions which you have. Do we have appropriate management? Do you have superior resources? Can our company be competitive? All these are the questions which you ask to find out which idea is winning. And the last question which you ask is the W is it worth it? Namely, the RWW tool application shows whether after the first steps you get only the real ideas and then the winning ideas. And the third question you ask is to explore the risks versus payoff. Whether is the idea worth it? If the idea shows promise in the first two steps, it is to check what are the risk versus payoffs. I mean, will the product or a service be available at an acceptable risk? Are the forecasted returns greater than cost? Are the risk acceptable? How will the small changes in price impact market share and launch timing, affect cash flows and break-even points? All these questions you will ask, these are finally, from all of these, will you get an idea which is real, winning and worthy? And that idea is the one which you take for prototyping. So guys, design thinking is all about customer discovery, problem discovery, working culture, structured, unstructured process, sanity and process. And this is another way of depicting design thinking. You have inspiration, ideation and implementation. The same Stanford D School model. In inspiration, you do understand, observe, point of view. In ideation, you do ideate, prototype, test. In implementation, you do storytelling, pilot, and the business model. So with this, I complete my session on storytelling and some aspects about design thinking. Before I end the class or before we end this session, I have a couple of questions to ask you. My first question to all of you would be, first, did you learn something today? If you did learn something today, type Y in the chat boxes. If you didn't learn something today, type N or no in the chat boxes. Thank you, Manisha. Thank you, Deepali. Thank you, Bhakti. Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, Ankita. Thank you, Venkata. Thank you, someone from the Neville Wadia Institute. Thank you, Mohammad Haseen Akhtar. Thank you, Lukesh. Second question to the for people who can't come on chat, you can also say yes or no on the chat. I mean on the audio. Thank you, Deepali. Thank you, Mukunda Vani. Second question to the entire group of people here. Thank you, Monali. What are the one or two things or three things which you learned? Put it in the chat box, please. Thank you, Mohammad Haseen Akhtar. What are the one, two, or three things? Please put it in the chat box, or you can come on audio and say what are the one, two, or three things which you learned.
Sir, I learned the very important thing is how storytelling is so effective in design thinking.
Thank you very much. Who is this? Who is this? Sorry,
this is Manisha. This is Manisha from Gujarat.
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Madhuri. You learned the storytelling part. Thank you, Swarnadeep. Thank you, Sarita. Roy, the value of visions. Okay. Thank you, Deepali. Simple ideas can be designed in an innovative way. Thank you, Venkata. How to tell story about design thinking. Thank you. Sorry, someone's mic is on here. Thank you, Venkata. Thank you, Ankita Gupta. Storytelling, we should be including this as teaching methods. Yes, Ankita, you should. Thank you, Bhakti. Storytelling. Okay. By the way, guys, I have also won an award from IBM. I'm a certified design thinking practitioner from Society of Design Thinking Professionals, from IBM, and also from SAP. And I've also been awarded by IBM as one of the best faculties in India. IBM gives an award to people who are good faculty, and I happen to be one of them in India, guys. Thank you, Smita. Thank you, Manisha. Thank you, Mukunda. Dr. Shabnam, I think I'm done. You can take over, guys. I think.
Yes, sir. It's a request to participants. If you have any queries, any questions to ask to sir, you can ask.
Yeah, except that Dr. Shabnam didn't tell you, every question will be charged 1 lakh rupees. I take credit card, cash. And if you have more money, you can also give me 2 lakhs. That'd be great.
There are some participants who have raised a hand. Prayati Singh, do you want to ask anything? Prayati Singh, you have raised your hand. You want to ask something?
Ma'am, it was for a Sholay video.
It was for Sholay video. Okay.
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 Any participant want to ask something? Want to share something? Okay.
Don't worry, I won't charge you. Don't worry, I won't charge you anything. It's okay. I just was kidding or joking that I'll charge 1 lakh rupees. I know we all professors and teachers, and we can't afford such taxation. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Shabnam, sorry, you were saying something.
No, sir, it's a request. Can you share your PPTs, your presentation with us? Actually, participants wants to know more about it.
Sure. I'll share I'll share the video. I can also send you an email about. I teach design thinking, and I can send you the details, Dr. Shabnam, and you can circulate it to the entire group of participants. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Anything else, guys? Okay, guys.
Okay. On behalf of Computer Department, AISSMS College of Engineering, and all the participants of this faculty development program, sir, I thank you for such a wonderful, such a beautiful session. And it was one of the best session I have ever listened. Actually, it's true from my heart. We enjoyed it thoroughly. The session was so much engaging. For a minute also, we did not move here and there. It was such a beautiful session, sir.
Thank you very much. You all have been a good audience. A sincere request to all of you, please wear a mask. We are still not out of the coronavirus. Don't want any one of you to get the coronavirus. And apply design thinking wherever you go. Design thinking can be used, by everyone. You could be a teacher, you could be a professor, you could be an engineer. Whatever you are, you can use design thinking. And we use design thinking to deliver sessions on design thinking also. So, and my sincere request, please wear a mask. Please protect yourself from the coronavirus. Don't want any one of you to get it. Thank you very much, Dr. Shabnam, and everyone at AISSMS for inviting me for this faculty development program. It has been a pleasure teaching you all, and I love the interaction. God bless you guys. Thank you very much. Bye for now.
Thank you.